Hi, my name is Andrea, and besides of being recently married, I own the leading company in bouquet preservation in the world. It is when connecting with my clients that I felt the need to serve them and help them navigate this new and exciting journey. On this podcast, we bring you everything you need to know to plan the wedding of your dreams. We'll be featuring conversations with top wedding vendors and valuable tips and advice from real couples. Whether you're engaged or simply love, this podcast is for you. So sit back, relax, and let's get started on this journey to your perfect wedding day. Welcome to the club, to Bridal Club. Madi, thank you so much for doing this with me today. Why don't you tell our audience who you are?
So I'm Madison Marsh, and I'm currently Miss America. If you can't see the full sash right now, I was just crowned in January, and I was the very first active duty officer to win the title. So I commissioned last year in the Air Force. I'm a second lieutenant right now. My undergraduate was at the Air Force Academy, and I studied astrophysics and then went on to complete one semester at Harvard for my master's degree in public policy. So once this stuff is over, I'll go back to Harvard next year to go finish that. And I love getting to research cancer, running my nonprofit called the Whitney Marsh Foundation. That's why I've got my purple ribbon on. My mom passed away from the disease we're coming up on 6 years now. And so obviously all of that has been pretty life-changing in the way that I go about my studies, what I'm going to be doing with my career, and especially when we're getting into wedding planning as well.
Yeah, you are so busy. We were just talking about your busy schedule. I really don't know how you do it all. So tell me a little bit how you just do everything. Like, how do you juggle all your responsibilities? Obviously planning a wedding, and we'll dive more deeply into that as well.
I mean, I would say both of my teams are really the people that are taking the edge of this all of the time. So I've got an entire Miss America team that does this, and then I also have a full Air Force team that does it too. And they work with each other all of the time for scheduling to make sure that I can be there for Miss America events. And then also, really importantly, on the Air Force side, I'm still active duty as an officer. And so there are certain requirements, like legal requirements, to remain on active duty, going into office, putting on the uniform, all of those things. So I have an entire team, people that sit all across the nation to ensure that I'm doing both of those roles properly all at the same time.
Wow, I honestly did not know that. I mean, obviously I follow you on Instagram and I'm always looking at your stories and everything that you do. So thank you for letting us know that. I mean, you are truly the it girl in the United States. Like, everybody looks up to you.
Oh, thank you.
Like, young girls, obviously people that are older than you. I mean, women, men, everything, like you are truly an inspiration. So thank you for your service and thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So tell me more about what it was going through the pageants. Like, have you always been into pageants? Is this something that you always wanted to do, or is this something new?
So I guess this is fairly new. So I didn't grow up doing them, didn't do them in high school, and I just kind of started competing my freshman year at the Air Force Academy. So I was about halfway through, was really struggling. My mom had passed away the year prior, and military academies are pretty difficult on their own, and didn't really know how to handle everything at once. And so my cousin, Madeline Bowman, who's a little bit younger than me, started competing in pageants. And so I got to see that and kind of realized maybe this could be a good opportunity for me to pour in my grief into something positive, to do something good for other people, to kind of step away from all this other stuff, the seriousness that I have to do, and just do a pageant. And so it was really cool. We've now passed the 4-year mark, so it hasn't been too terribly long, but feels like it's been a bit ago because I've definitely matured and grown a lot since the start of my pageant journey.
Yeah. And how old are you, Madi?
22. I'm about to turn 23 in about a month. So
wow.
Very close.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit more about what it was like to be actually crowned. Like, what was the first thing that you thought about when that happened?
Very, very surprised. And I would say, like, one of the very first things after like those first 10 minutes kind of died down, I thought about now my fiance, but at the time boyfriend, Walker. He was there in the audience, and anything that we do it together.
Yes.
He is my rock, and we aren't going to ever enter into a situation where we have not both agreed and are wholeheartedly in it. And so I remember asking him, like, at the end of the runway, like, are you good if I do this? Because we've had a ton of conversations about, like, what if it happened? But obviously now we're actually there.
Yeah.
And he was just the most important thing to me in those moments of making sure we were good to start this journey together, because obviously it's a big thing. He's starting pilot training for the Air Force. I'm off doing this for the whole year. And then at the end of it, when his pilot training and my year as Miss America is over, what we come back to is us, an entire life together. And that is always the most important thing above any job, any career, any opportunity. It's us. And so that was what I was thinking about in the moment. And that's what I think about every single day when I'm choosing what I'm doing, how I'm doing my job. It's always him first.
I'm speechless with what you just said right now. Wow, that's beautiful. And I hope that he watches that and knows what you're saying, because it's, I mean, I got the chills all over me. I definitely want to talk to you a little bit more about him, because he obviously got a queen. I mean, you have the crown, but you're always going to be a queen, truly. I have had the pleasure to be working with you, obviously preserving those flowers that I want to talk to you about as well. Before we dive in, Angelique with the Sash Company, we actually started collaborating and we became really good friends. And she is the one that did your sash, the Miss America sash.
Yes.
Sashes for like most or all the most important pageants in the world. Stunning and beautifully made. She grabbed your flowers from you and sent them to me so I could preserve them. Obviously, you received your pieces already. Do you have them with you?
Oh, I have them all right here beside me.
Oh, can you show them to
Yes. Okay. I'm going to show the ring holder first. This one sits on my bedside table. This is what I use for my rings every single night. So the 2 rings that I wear every day, one, my engagement ring. So Walker actually designed this and picked it out in, I think August last year. And so he had this kept as a secret for a long time. He was planning on proposing whether or not I won Miss America. And then my other ring is this one. It is a sapphire, and my mom actually had this made before she passed away. And she had, I believe it was just like a pair of sapphire earrings, and one of them had gone missing, and she decided to turn that into a piece. My little sister got a necklace, I got a ring, and so our very first Christmas that we had without her, she actually had them planned in advance before she had passed away to give to us. And so I wear this every single day. So this special ring holder is something that I use every single night for that. They're the 2 most important pieces of jewelry that I wear, and I'm glad I get to have a little beautiful piece beside it, because I love flowers. Flowers are like my favorite thing in the whole world, way to my heart. And so the fact that I get to have like a beautiful piece to hold 2 very special parts of my life is really cool. This one is probably my favorite. It is so cool.
It's like, I mean, the Bees vibes.
Yes, and you can see like how thick it is from the side. Yeah. This also sits on my bedside table, because if people don't know this, I'm a huge fantasy fan. Like, I love all things like princesses, dragons, A Court of Thorns and Roses, you name it. It is my favorite. And I love getting to have a piece that looks very princessy, fantasy vibes, really represents like all my favorite books. And so I have this on my bedside table, and it's so beautiful. Also made for my crowning flowers, so very special.
Yes, I must say, before you show the other one, we actually just shipped to Robin Fleming, which is the CEO of Miss America. She's amazing, so shout out to her, and your entire team is amazing. And oh my gosh, it's been an honor to work with all of them. We shipped her one of those with your crowning flowers too as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, she's gonna get it this week, and I'm so excited. And then also we made one for our studio as well, because we have one of your flowers.
That's so awesome. I've had so many people reaching out to me, like asking where I got all my stuff from. I think Miss Georgia reached out to you. She texted me this past week and she was like, I really, really want to do what you did with your flowers. And I was like, well, you need to go to Andrea, because that's the only place you can get your flowers done by. So I love that everyone's getting their little special pieces. Yeah. And then this is the last one that y'all made. It's really big.
And heavy, right? Yeah.
I know, it's like a workout. So you can see it says Miss America at the bottom. It's really beautiful.
Thank you. We wanted to represent, obviously, your winning flowers, which, by the way, there's a magazine called Officially Her. Miss America is behind it. It's stunning. And we have an app right here. And this is Madi with her flowers, just so you can see it. And now she has them forever. So thank you so much for doing this with us. It's honestly, truly a pleasure. And this is kind of like the first time that we get into pageants. And it's been so, so amazing. So I don't want to let you go quite yet, because I want to really just talk about your engagement and your wedding. Aren't you like the first Miss America to actually be engaged while you're reigning?
Yes, I would say openly engaged. I don't know if there might have been some secret Miss Americas in the past that got engaged under the radar, but I'm the first openly engaged Miss America. And it's been really awesome because, like I said earlier, Walker is the most important part of my life. And it just wouldn't have been honest for me this year if I would have kept that as a secret. And so I'm really glad that everyone was so accepting, that the organization is moving and growing in the right direction.
Yes.
I feel like there's always been this notion of somehow by being in a relationship, people maybe think that you're less independent. And that's just not the case. I see that I would not be able to be Miss America without Walker. He is the thing that keeps me going. He's my safe space, the person I call when the weekends are long, the weeks are long, the trips are tough. And so I just think it's so awesome that the entire community was so accepting and excited that now we don't have to hide the most important people in our life. Like, that's something to be celebrated and honored because they're the people that get us through this year. We don't
100%.
get through it alone. And so it's been so cool to just get to share this with everybody and get to have Walker be a part of everything.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm so happy that you said that because I just got married myself in November, so 7 months ago. Yeah, it was amazing. You're gonna have the best day ever. But my husband is also truly the most important person in my life. I mean, I have what I have, and I have been able to be where I am because of him, because of his support. So we connected because of our man. So yes to that. Let's talk really quick about your wedding. Do you have a wedding date yet?
Yes. So we are getting married on July 5th, 2025.
Okay. Actually, Angelique with the Sash Company and I are gonna be working together again because she also does bridal sashes, and I know you're talking to her about yours, so I kind of want to talk to you really quick. So she does bridal sashes for the bride to be. She did one for me for that says Mrs. Cole, since it's my new last name.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then obviously some for like your bridal party and all of that. Just the fact that Miss America herself is going to be giving away like sashes made from the same company to friends and family, like they better have them framed. I mean, what a beautiful piece to pass down on.
Yes. And it's just so fun too, because I feel like you don't see stuff like that very often, and it brings together so many different parts of my life, like the pageant part, and now all of my bridesmaids are not in the pageant world, and so they get to have like a little part of my year too. So it's really cool.
I'm actually gonna wear this while we conclude our interview because I remember when I first got them, I opened them and I was like, these are heavy. Like you can see
they're nice.
Yes, how beautifully they're made. And it made me feel like a queen. So I'm just gonna wear it with me too. We are doing your bridal bouquet preservation too.
Oh, thank you so much. I was talking about this earlier to everybody, and it's just like I said, flowers are my favorite thing, and I think every woman's favorite flowers are hopefully like the ones that they have on their wedding day. And I feel like all of your pieces, yes, they're like parts of someone's like history and important days in their life, but they're also just beautiful, unique decor that you can't go buy at any store. Like there's no store in the world that you can go and buy one of your designs at because they're just so personal, unique, beautiful. You will not see colors like this. And so it makes me so excited to get to have like some of my pretty parts of my wedding day that I get to have in my house forever, that hopefully my kids will get to see and they'll live on forever. So they don't just have to look at my wedding through photos. Like they can have real pieces in our house where they're still living on and they get to be with us. So
wow, you say everything so beautifully. I'm just gonna snap everything that you're saying and put it on our ads. Yes, we honestly are so excited to continue to celebrate you. You truly, I mean, we are your biggest cheerleader, and I know everybody, like the whole country is. You truly, truly are a queen. And Maddie, thank you again so much for this. Before we go, I just want really quick, how do you always have a smile on? How do you work on your confidence and always have like a good day? Because you look like you're having a good day every day. How do you do all of that?
Well, I would say, I mean, just for full transparency, I've always wanted to be super honest with you. Like, there are a lot of days off camera where I'm not having the best day, that it is a tough job, and maybe sometimes I feel lonely. And I think that that's always happened all throughout everyone's life. And I feel like social media makes it so easy to look at people and think they're happy all the time or they're having the best time all the time, when then that's just not true. So giving yourself some grace, because I know I definitely do that a lot. Like when I come home, I try to be unplugged from social media. I love reading books. That's kind of my way of refreshing the mind, because if I can't give some time to myself, I can't go out and give anything to anybody else if my cup is empty. And so a really important piece of being confident, being smiley when I got to put it on is really replenishing my self and personal time. Like if that's reading a book for you, yoga, I love going to the gym, I love calling my family. Those are the things that replenish me. And I know I would never be able to go out and do any job without meeting those needs first. And so be selfish sometimes, like put yourself first, work in those hours throughout the day to just have you time, because that's the only way we're going to be able to make it through and go full force the rest of the time throughout your life. And so that would be the advice that I have to give, because I think that's the way that I've been getting through it for the past couple of years.
I love it. You should be so proud of yourself. I know your family is. I know your mom is. Congratulations on everything. Please let us know where to follow you, and obviously follow your journey as Miss America, but then also your journey, like your personal journey and your wedding journey as well.
So Miss America, the easiest way to follow is just at Miss America on Instagram, and you can kind of go figure everything else out from there for their other accounts. And then my personal account is linked on there. If you can't find it, it's at Madi Isabella, MadiIsabella. And that's where I post all of like my personal fun content, and then definitely all of the upcoming wedding content. We have some really, really beautiful engagement photos that I'm excited to share on our 1 year out from our wedding, so people can look out for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and we will connect soon.
Thank you so much. It was so good to get to see you again.
Thank you. Likewise. Learn about all things wedding straight from the experts. Be sure to like and subscribe to Bridal Club.